Hi, this is Rachel, and I just want to talk about Peter Slogan. So, he has a channel that he started loading videos, and one of his topics and interests are, and also what he is a Heyoka Empath. So, I just want to go ahead and support him because I'm a Heyoka too. We'll say different things about it. I mean, similar things, but I meant some of the stuff he has is coming from a little bit more different perspective than me. So, if you watch his channel, you'll get a different kind of perspective. So, when I support it, some of the stuff he said, I'll put his video link that I'm talking about so you can get to his channel in the description. And basically he talked about certain topics like not getting any respect. Now I'm going to talk about empaths in general and Heyoka. So basically empaths don't get a lot of respect because they're usually highly sensitive people. So, if your emotions are extreme, if you don't have your, if your, empathy is not under control, if your intuition's not under control, what happens is you walk up to a crowd and they might be all riled up and pissed off, but you have no idea. And you're coming from somewhere else where you're calm. You go by the crowd, and right before you get there, you're pissed as hell. You want to tear some stuff up. And guess what? It wasn't you. You were just fine. Nothing happened. It just happened because you picked that up. So if you're a highly sensitive person, which comes along with being an empath, you could overreact or pick up somebody else's emotions. You could go from church and you go to a restaurant. When you get to that restaurant, you just want to cry because you're picking up on somebody's emotions. You don't know how to separate, you don't know how to mentally define what your emotions are versus the other people. And the people that don't know this, their life is like a living hell. People talk bad to them. They get no respect. Everybody says they're crazy, over emotional. Usually it comes with someone talking behind their back. So anyway, you don't get respect when you're out of control empath. Well, empath period. And when you, a highly sensitive person. It's 2020. I'm going to tell you, it's not accepted. What happened was they turned everybody into, classes and stuff. So you got lower class, middle class, upper class. And, then they have all these other things like, the corporate world and stuff. So why are they going to invest or educate themselves on empaths? They're not going to do it. A highly sensitive person, they're not going to do it. If you try to act like a highly sensitive person, you can't really be in the corporate world. You'll be lucky if you can be at, a small job where you're accepted. So you're not accepted in any level, for acting that way. So another issue where you don't get respect is from your intuition. This intuition scares people. So if somebody had gone to a church and then they went to Toys R Us, which isn't around anymore, and then they went home, and the empath pretty much can tell you, oh yeah, how was Toys R Us after church? And the person will be like, how did you know? How did you figure that out? You don't have a receipt. You don't know I was there because I didn't tell you. There's no reason for you to think I was there because I don't go there very often. So this other person will be like, they don't have the proof. They don't have the verbal proof. They don't got the mental proof. They don't got the physical proof. All they got is spiritual proof, intuition. So it will scare people. And a lot of people don't want to hang out with someone who's got strong intuition. They feel threatened and they think you're hostile because they think you got some camera in the sky and that you're spying on them. And how can you know all this stuff? And then sometimes things happen, like, for example, somebody could screw you over and you don't know. You have no idea, and they're talking to you regular, but your body has a pain in it and you kind of feel sick. You're very upset, you want to cry. You may even get attitude and snap on them. So for them, they didn't tell you anything. They only know. So how could you know? How could your body reaction be aligned with what they did? They can't figure it out. So they're like, how do they know? How do they know how to react? Why would they be this way? They don't know anything. So how are you going to get respect when people are lying to themselves about it? They don't want to deal with it. So anyway, they don't want to be responsible or make changes or see anything about themselves. So that brings us to the mirror. Now, with Heyoka is the only empath that is the mirror. So other empaths, yeah, they can mirror people, but it will never be like a Heyoka. And they can mirror people, but you're not going to piss people off as bad. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you can mirror people, but it would be like more intentional, where the Heyoka, it's not. It just happens. So, nobody respects a mirror. If you're a mirror and you're standing in front of me and there's a lot of things I don't like I see, I'm going to turn you into the monster, because the reflection is coming from you, so I can easily say it's coming from, or the reflection's coming to me, I can easily say that you're the monster because the reflection is actually coming from you. Truth is, the mirror is reflecting off of the person, so they're the one. But anyway, besides the point, nobody likes it. It's really hard because the Heyoka can mirror somebody's environment. They could mirror emotional, physical, mental, situations, events. So, if there's something wrong in these things, the problem is the mirror shows it. So if you think of those little comics where it's like, find the difference, you know what I'm saying? So the person looking in the mirror is going to be like, okay, why am I so upset? Why is this person pissing me off? And this person's going to look for the different from the way that it used to be. The way the world mirrored it to them, one way. The way that Heyoka mirrors it to them is another way. To where when they look in a Heyoka mirror, they can say, hey, what's different in this picture? I gotta find what's different. And what they will find is what's broken in the situation, or what needs a lot of improvement, or has to do with a major change that the person needs to recognize. Even if they don't change, they still need to recognize it. So the Heyoka will come that way. And trust me, Heyoka mirror, nobody really wants to keep and looking. You know what I'm saying? People rather look in the mirror of the world. So Heyoka mirror, really upsets people. You don't even mean to. You could go up to a stranger, somehow be reflecting off to them. They see the one thing that's different, and guess what? They're pissed at you. They'll never be your friend, given 5-10 years even. So another thing is that there's a lot of misunderstanding. We're very misunderstood. Now this is for empaths, period. People don't want to take the time. They don't want to tap into their feelings to understand you. A lot of times, people in master's degrees or people who are really stuck in the 3D world don't want to tap into how they feel and their opinion if it has nothing to do with what they're going to have for dinner, who they're having sex with, going and drinking and partying. If it's outside of that, if it's outside of, I got a 9-to-5 job, I come home and watch TV, all this stuff. So they're not going to take a lot of time to understand you when they can go watch somebody get drunk on TV and, accidentally show their underwear or something insane. They rather do that like a child than, understand you or other people at all. The way that an empath loves is not accepted. The reason why it's not accepted is because there is game playing. So, and this is so stupid because women are like, oh my god, men are always like this. They're always like, and they've been like that since, the beginning of time. And men are like, oh my god, women are like this. They've been like that since the beginning of time. So how does anyone say, oh, well, men are always this way. They'll blow you off. They don't care. They're jerks. They're protectors. They like to be the one that provides all this stuff. The same thing with the woman. Feminine, likes to take care of things, has children, all this stuff. So, books will be like, hey, if this is going on, ignore them for a month. Hey, if this happens, this is what it is. So, the way an empath loves doesn't have to do with the way that women and men have been since the beginning of time. It has nothing to do with the games that are played. So, the way we love doesn't make any sense to other people. They have not written this down in a book. If you try to love someone and it's their birthday, they're going to be like, oh my god, you gave me too much for my birthday. I can't handle it. What's wrong with you? You're going to be in my life forever. Just because they'll be like, are you going to be in my life forever because you gave me $1,000 jacket? Seriously, are you going to be in my life forever because you made me the biggest birthday cake? I mean, these are the way that people think. The love comes on strong. The love is very, very similar to unconditional love because I don't think a lot of people can offer unconditional love because there's some aspect of the love we have for everything that has expectations for condition and agreement. So, it's not always unconditional. Now, when it comes to children, yes, they can love unconditional. When it comes to certain animals, yes, they can love unconditional. So, but when it comes to human adults, it's almost impossible, and I'm not trying to offend good people, it's almost impossible to find somebody who knows how to love unconditional. And I can tell you, I love my children unconditional, but when it comes to other people and things, you know what? There's expectations, and there's reasons why I won't give you that, and, whatever. So the love isn't very accepted. I'm sure there's a lot of other things and ways that I could do to explain this situation, this topic, but I just want people to feel accepted, because guess what? I'm telling you, and I've been there and I'm still there too, and go back to that highly sensitive person. Trust me. It's not just because of the trauma I've been through, but I have cried for days, months, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I just went to a cemetery the other day, and I was like, hey, you said, because they were saying things on the recording, and I could hear it live, so I could hear it, and I could respond back, And I asked, hey, somebody over here said they know something about me. What do you know? A voice said, you're not crying. Now, that's very personal to me because, that's not my experience a lot. That's not I went through a lot. So don't feel bad if you're sensitive and you cry. People don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They don't accept it. They don't know how to cry. They don't know how to cry in front of other people. And when they do have time to cry, they don't want to. They would rather, bury that in a video game, something like that. Bury themselves in food. These are things I've done too. So, there was a point where I was living full blown in the 3D world, and, something happened to awaken me, and like an oyster, I opened up and I'm showing my pearl. So anyway, a lot of people are embarrassed by the empath. People aren't like, hey, I talk to psychics. People are not like, there's a married couple and the man's like, oh my gosh, how did you know this all ended up working out? That girl's not like, I call a psychic. I call an empath. I ask somebody with intuition. It's embarrassing because there is no proof for it. It's coming out of the blue. It's scary because it's so accurate. People with good intuition are like this. It doesn't matter if what you do to get the message. If somebody asks, if you do a tarot reading, that's going to be spot on. It's not going to be like the one on the internet where they go to do it and they don't understand it. So there's a lot of disrespect. They're embarrassed. They might not want to take you places because they can't depend on you to be consistent. They can't control you. You're unpredictable. Why would they want to take you around other people? They're trying to look a certain way. If they're trying to do the whole poker face thing, they don't want an empath there that usually doesn't have a filter on their face. You know what I'm saying? So even if the empath isn't saying anything, if you're really perceptive, you'll kind of pick up on, maybe we're like something about it. And especially, okay, I don't know about empath. I mean, I'm a Heyoka. But the Heyoka empath, they piss people off like all day, every day. Piss people off like crazy. So it's not even intentional. The Heyoka could have good intentions, say something so sweet, do something so sweet, and the other person's pissed off. They don't want nothing to do with you. The Heyoka loses a lot of friends, can have a lot of people that disagree with them or are indifferent with them. They can be isolated from other people because other people get angry with them. They get pissed off. So it's very painful because you want to be close to them and you're getting hurt because they want to get pissed off. So there's a lot of harassment. You know what I'm saying? You get harassed by the police a lot more for Heyoka, not other empaths. Get harassed by the police a lot more. You get harassed by gang stalkers. You get harassed by, coworkers and all kinds of stuff. You may even get harassed trying to do your everyday stuff, especially if it's somewhere you've been to more than once. So there is a lot of harassment. Get a lot of harassment from the people you interact with. So, obviously, if you're in some kind of area that's not in the middle of the woods or some little village or something, there's a lot of harassment. People are trying to intimidate. That's another thing. People are trying to intimidate the Heyoka, but the Heyoka doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? They try to get you to stop. You know what? I keep my mouth shut, even though it don't seem like it. I keep my mouth shut a lot more nowadays. But same time, it's not going to stop me. I don't even know how to stop it. The Heyoka just is. You know, they do a lot of things in humor, like people laugh a lot around them. So anyway, or they do a lot of things that are painful, not hurting, but just showing them. So it could be just the Heyoka kind of knows a situation, and the way that the Heyoka is expressing sympathy could just be enough of a mirror to make them want nothing to do with you. It's too close. It's too close to the pain. So Heyokas tend to have similar features. So you might see a lot more with high cheekbones. You might see a lot more with almond eyes. So, or something like that. I'm just saying. There is some features that are similar. They will usually be kind of bubbly and very full of life and attractive, but nothing they do is gonna make sense. And one thing about Heyoka that upsets me about being a Heyoka is people are like, it only happens to you. Oh, that happened. Oh, that's just like Rachel. It's always her. This, that, whatever. Just because we have like 7 lifetimes of bullcrap in one lifetime, doesn't mean that it's just me and it happens to me. That's very disrespectful. That's an insult. I don't ask for it to happen. We don't. So, another thing about Heyoka and a lot of empaths and highly sensitive person is there's great trauma in their life. Usually, with a Heyoka, the trauma is like multiple lives in one lifetime is how much trauma there is. It's like reading 10 different comic books with the same look and person. That's how a Heyoka's life is. It's a combination of 10 different comic books where it's the same person but totally different life. But empaths and highly sensitive person have a lot of trauma too. And they have a lot of recurring trauma because of disrespect, the misunderstanding, the isolation, not being accepted, not knowing what's wrong with them. I thought I was freaking nuts until my Heyoka experience came to me, because I didn't ask it, it came to me. And so anyway, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I just hope that people will subscribe to Pure Slogan and support him. And if you have video suggestions, I'm sure that he would do a video for you. Pure Slogan is a subscriber of mine. He's been very supportive, non-judgmental, and communicates very well. And he's vulnerable. Now, Heyoka and empaths and highly sensitive people, they're vulnerable, period. And vulnerable means you're out in a wilderness and you know something can happen to you. So you already know you're out there and, they could tear you up. So you're vulnerable. Anyway, I hope that this made sense, and I'll talk to you later.